up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's Sunday. It's the day after the Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion. So we're gonna get into it. Y'all like the video, subscribe to my channel. What time is it? It's 7:21. I'm gonna try to knock this out before I get over to Potomac and see their reunion. Now I'll be reunioned out. It's a lot of reunions going on. Reunions be stressful to watch because they don't really make a lot of sense, and there's a whole lot of hollering and screaming. This one over here, there wasn't a whole lot going on during the season, and when you got to resort to running clips from season one, then you really working hard to put things together. Melanie quit, we do know that, so what y'all gonna do now? We'll see, I suppose. The looks. Let's get into that first. I'm gonna go from worst dressed to best dressed. And for me, the worst dressed is gonna go to Miss Nell, who came dressed as a sweet potato. That dress it wasn't doing nothing flattering for her. I don't know what those things were on the arm sleeves or whatnot. Carlos says she looked like seasoned salt from the Lowry's department in the grocery store. Lowry seasoned salt. That's not cute. Why, of all things to compare someone to, I don't feel like I would feel good about being called Lowry seasoned salt. But anyway, I feel like Miss Nell's not built for no form-fitting dress. She's a little squatty, so she should have had some things like with some angles, a little wider at the bottom, give her a little waist, a little snatch, know what I mean? Move things around a little bit. You can't, you can't put a potato in a potato sack and then think that that's going to be something just because you threw some sparkles on it. Chris looked like he always looked. He just got some seasoned salt sprinkled across his lapel. He wears the same pretty much type of suit. He's matching her, her dress. And I'm sure he doesn't have any socks on because these guys don't like to show up anywhere with socks. We got to look at man ankles the whole time. Who's next? I would say Destiny. Destiny looks like a hostess at Dollyland. She went and got a pageant dress that supposedly was an emergency find from her stylist who had to run over to a showroom because her dress got damaged. That's what she said. I feel like Destiny thought she was going to have a moment so her and her man Martell can stand here and stand out from the rest of the group. But you really, you're standing out, not in a good way. Your makeup is a little pale and pasty, and your hair is washing you out. Looks like you borrowed one of Miss Nell's wigs. Miss Nell, your makeup is not great. I don't know what those sparkly things are across your eyelids, but I think you should have left them off. And when you get a little older, and I know Miss Nell doesn't like to talk about how old she is, and ain't nobody asked her to, but you should not be going over the top. You should be pulling back a little bit with the makeup. It just ages you. That's all I'm saying. Destiny, like I said, she casket ready, like they like to say. I could really just see her like over at Dollyland carrying menus to, a fancy party in her, sparkly dress. Kimmy, I did not hate Kimmy's dress. However, it looked really good on her, except the gloves. Get rid of the gloves and that stupid I Dream Genie ponytail thing that they keep wearing. I want them to stop doing that. Like, if y'all are all too grown to have a curly I Dream of Genie ponytail on, especially when it's a wig, then it just be extra high and extra, I don't know, unflattering is what I'm feeling like. All of them have had it. From this Miss Nell all the way, all of them. Every lady on this stage has done that silly ponytail on the top of their head. Anyway, who else? Kimmy's makeup, it wasn't great. She had like lip liner on, looked like she was burning her eyeliner in the bathroom and lining her lips with it. If Kimmy would have had a black pullback type chignon, if you don't know what that is, look it up. It's not my business to tell you. Um, I feel like I would have liked it a lot better because, it was a pretty dress. Maurice, he's got on a blue suit. It fits well, I suppose. Number two, I'm going to say number two is Melanie Cherie Hall. Now, her dress is banging. It's a beautiful dress and she looks lovely in it. But I feel like her makeup is a little pasty and that wig is too stiff and that blonde is just So over it. I'm so over it. And this particular wig on both her and Destiny washes them out. Did they use the same makeup artist? I know they didn't use the same stylist because I don't think Jay Bolin been over there with, she wouldn't look like that if he had helped her out. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and say Tisha is my number one pick. It's because her dress was beautiful. I feel like this was probably the best, my favorite dress that she's worn to a reunion. It fits her. She don't look like she stuffed it in or uncomfortable. It's just, it fits her very nice. I think that's the one of the biggest problems that a lot of these ladies have is just stop trying to be squished up in something. It looks much better when it's, give you a little room like you can breathe. It's still form fitting, and Tisha, her body is banging. So it's not, she's squatty too, but her dimensions is dimensioning. Hourglass, like, you know what I mean? Not Miss Nell, not so much. Her hair is beautiful. She's got, I mean, I'm loving the bob. It's not stiff. Melanie's bob was real stiff. A lot of the time when Melanie was talking, I was focused on the bottom of her hair, seeing what it was gonna do. Tisha's hair is just effortless. That's the word I'm looking for. It's effortless. And her makeup also. I see Tisha's beautiful face. I don't see sparkles across her eyelids. I don't see her looking like she's ready to lay down and, in a grave somewhere. And I don't see her eyebrows all covered in some dark thing. She looks very beautiful. Only critique I would have of Tisha is I wasn't a fan of her shoes. I wish she had went with something a little more understated, maybe with an ankle strap. And unfortunately, she's got to sit next to Marcel, who looks a mess. His suit is ill-fitting, and I don't like that blazer either. He should have just did with Maurice. Maurice, why you don't ever take Marcel with you to get, suited up? And then, of course, you got the tight suit wearing toy soldier Martell. Didn't he wear this same suit to the wedding, a vow renewal thing in a blue? Did he just get one in every color? And when he walked up, ooh, the white is bad. He walked up to shake Carlos's hand, and I see his whole back fat. And I'm like, does he have a shirt under that, or is that just a mock collar, so he can get that thing buttoned? And he said his pants were so tight he wasn't going to be able to sit down. What man is running around with pants on that they can't sit down in? That sounds so strange, Martell. You're such a prissy little thing, aren't you? Sit around in your tight pants, you gotta lean. You and Dusty gonna lean on each other with the child. So Carlos gets started asking Martell, how's life? And Martell said, life is, same old, same old. He's just out here being a great parent. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're out here harassing your wife and corporal punishing your children. So I don't know how that makes you great, but that's what the people said allegedly. I feel like it was on some court documents where the judge said he had to go to therapy or else he was going to be in trouble. Carlos asked Destiny, how is she? She says she's stupendous. And I was like, oh, stupendous. That's such a big emotion. Not good, not great, stupendous. It's like what happens at circuses and things. She looked like she worked at the circus, a fancy one. What are those girls that walks around and, shows off things? Maybe. I don't know. She's stupendous, child. I think sitting on the couch next to her man makes her feel so stupendous. But, who am I? I don't know nothing. Don't know these people. He asked her, how does it feel being back this season? And she said, you're welcome. And I was like, welcome for what? Who's welcome? We're welcome or he's welcome? I don't know what you did over here that anybody should be welcome for anything. You came over here, your ex-boyfriend who bees back and forth in jail, currently incarcerated, I think, and his new wife that was your producer friend, maybe not friend. And y'all talked about that the whole time. And I'll sit here and say, I understand why Destiny is upset with this lady, but girl, what else you got? You're welcome. And I hope what else you got is not sitting in a storage unit with a card table and some pretend soaps and things. Destiny, I saw just scrolling along all these cute little studio boutiques that they got going. They've got some here for $125 a week, and it looks like a cute little windowed up storefront. not a storage unit where you might suffocate in there. Jeez, Destiny. Trying to bring guests over to your card table. I guess if that's all you got going on, Destiny, you might as well go with your producer friend who stole your man that you broke up with in the first place. Carlos wants to start the show with a look back from season 1 because he wants to show us how the relationship between Marcel Scott and Martell Hope has changed so over the years as it relates to business. And we start to look back and all we see is Martell and Melanie and why. It starts with we're the Holts. The Holts are no more. I don't want to see that anymore. I don't know why that's not what the real is supposed to be. But I'm guessing when he went over there and looked for some business that Martell and Marcel were doing, all he found was some rocks at the manor, some shovels, and somebody in the background, bulldozing things for Fred. They end this little segment with Melanie, getting her name back because that's what we're here for. We just changed the whole subject. So Carlos looks at Martell and asks him, does that make you sad looking at those moments with Melanie? He's like, yeah, because, it just makes me look back at, and I'm going to keep saying what we built together. Because it's absolutely important that everyone knows that Martell is halfway responsible for the success of Melanie Hope, or Melanie Cherie Rogers. I mean, I don't know what her part he played. I know he's over there wearing a tight suit and making me uncomfortable. Feels like I can't breathe just looking at his ass. But he got to take credit for everything. She's sitting there not even acknowledging his existence. Melanie said no, she doesn't get sad when she looks back. She looks proud. Makes her feel proud of what she's accomplished since then. Back when she left her name in the backyard. Went back to her original name. They've been divorced so long now, like 4 years. They've been divorced 4 years. It shouldn't even be conversations going on that say the both of their names, especially since Martell decided that the children won't be allowed on the show. Like he thinks that taking the children away from her is going to ruin her story. And really, like she has other things going on. You're the one that doesn't. Your story is destiny, and she's holding on tight to it. Coleslaw should pay attention. Carlos asked Martell, finally we get to the Marcel part, is it hard for him to watch Marcel and Tisha grow and thrive as this power couple? And he's like, I wish them the best. Like, I'm always, definitely wishing them the best and everything. And, I'm not a jealous person. I've never been jealous. It's not in me. I'm never going to be jealous. I find that hard to believe. Maybe, I don't know. Let me think about that one for a second. I don't think it's jealousy. I think it's like, how they say the guy's like, hey guys, we got caught. I think he's the we got caught dude. And he's mad that his, circumstances have changed and nobody else's did. Everybody's wife stayed with them except for Melanie. She left. Now he's stuck with coleslaw, who I believe Funky Dineva told him a long time ago that wasn't going to be satisfying. It's not a full meal and nobody wants to have just coleslaw. Now all he has is coleslaw and he wants to harass this lady, Melanie. Carlos asks, like, how does it feel to know that Martell is rooting for you? And Martell's like, I'm absolutely not rooting for them. That's not what I said. I said, I don't care whether they do good or not. Doesn't matter to me. And Kimmy's like, why wouldn't you be rooting for someone on this stage? Martell said they fake. They be out here telling lies and Tisha chimed in and told him like he's the one that should be looking at himself in the mirror because he's the liar that be talking to bloggers, telling bloggers things about them. And I also don't think that there's a person on the stage who hasn't had some type of communication with bloggers. I feel like a lot of why this show is even still here is because of their relationship with bloggers. So they might want to give a shout out to the bloggers for keeping them relevant. Because it takes a blogger to let the people understand what's coming. Y'all come straight back from every break talking about what was in the blogs every season. Hell, Miss Wanda is a blogger. At this point, y'all kicked her off the show. She took it to the internet. Is Martell jealous of Marcel? I don't think so. I don't think it's jealousy. Martell thinks Marcel is fat and ugly. That's what he said down to the adult field day. Martell is so self-centered that he would never think that somebody that looks like Marcel, he have no reason to be jealous. And that's in his head, I'm sure. I don't think it's jealousy. Martell said he was building houses before Marcel, and he said that hotel $1 million project that he was supposed to be working in ain't even finished because he's a failure and he fails at everything. And I'm like, Martell, you failed. You fail to get your builder's license? Like both of y'all, I don't know anything about that hotel. Marcel says he's got occupancy paperwork and he has receipts for things. Now they be doing some, I don't want to say shady business, but I want to say raggedy business over there at Black. So it wouldn't surprise me, if his hotel situation, which he wouldn't have if it wasn't for his wife, got messed up, Marcel. So Martell is mad at Marcel for making fun of him. And Marcel said he stopped doing that once he knew that that was an issue. I can't imagine why you wouldn't understand that. You, who is my friend, is making fun of me. But, they got in front of this TV and everybody's ego got in the way. And they, Martell, you are a joke. You've been a joke, but now you seeing like yourself be a joke on playback, when you rewatch the show. And when you see like all the bloggers out here that y'all like have such a problem with be talking trash about you. I feel like some of the things that Martell says is the stuff that he got from the blogs. And Lord knows his girlfriend stay over there. Girlfriend, baby mama, wife. I don't know what that lady is. One day she his woman and the next day she ain't, according to him. I know I ain't seen no Scott Manor. I've never seen this hotel. I've seen the strip mall that they was doing interviews for. Haven't seen it finished. I see them standing in front of bricks and shovels and cinder blocks and things and drywall, and that's it. That's all I ever see them doing. I'm not seeing any of their finished, products. Martell took us through that house. He didn't build it. I'm not buying that for a single second. He said he staged it, but then he bought the person that actually staged it. So Martell lies for fun. I don't see nothing that neither one of y'all are doing. Marcel said he got mad at me because I lost respect for him when he was out there, making revenge P videos with his wife. And I can't like look at my family, my wife and my kids, knowing that I have a friend that does this type of thing. He should have stepped off that one. I feel like that was a little bit much, Marcel. Like you had it and then you added that extra line that was just a little bit too dramatic. Because do you want us to believe you give a damn about your wife and your children? Not in that way, I don't think. Hell, you left him here and went to Africa. I don't think it matters who your friends are. They don't know them people. Martell denied that video until finally Mel pretty much confirmed it for Marcel that it's true. And then Martell tries to speak directly to Melanie and she pays his ass dust. He wanted to do it. He said her name a few times and she's like, don't say nothing to me. That's crazy. I don't understand when the cameras come up, she doesn't want to be nice to me, but she's nice to me every other time. Not from what I saw. I will believe that not, Martell. It's funny how he plays a victim. I sent her a screenshot of a video allegedly that, like he said, I sent her a screenshot of her. That means there is a video. Why you keep saying what video? Because it's the video you took the screenshot from. And you sent it with a text message. I was just saying to stop bullying me and to leave me alone and or else I'm going to treat her the same way she treats me. And then along with that picture. So in his mind, because she was doing all the stuff that she was doing back then, and even to this day, she's doing things to him because he's a whole victim. There was nothing wrong with the picture. And as much as Carlos stands around, jumps around, puts his crotch in Martell's face, what was that? You don't think this? And I'm like, sit down, please, Carlos. That's weird. Can y'all do this after the show? He don't see it's wrong anyway. He honestly, I feel like in his head believes that because she was doing whatever the hell it was that he feels like she was doing wrong, then he's justified in his behavior. I don't know what she's doing, probably retaliating, but I don't think he likes it. So he turns it into her harassing him. They was asking him like, "Did you get convicted?" And then I didn't get convicted. He gives this weird ass story about how he didn't get convicted because the judge did. They really wanted to see it, didn't see it, so he had to plead guilty in order to move it to the next court. So if I've not even seen the judge, then how am I guilty? And you're gonna need a calculator and a dictionary to figure out what the hell he's talking about. It's so ironic to me how Tisha and Marceau have all the information on how he did this and somebody reached out to him and he was going to put this video out and say somebody else do it. We all heard the story. If you haven't heard the story, it don't matter. Jeez, it don't make sense. Y'all got all the details and now it's such a horrible thing. But when she brought it up, like when it happened, y'all were playing like it wasn't a big deal and how she was just getting him arrested, just doing so much extra for getting him arrested for text messaging. But y'all knew what was really going on. Now is the problem. Why? Because he's over here saying that Tisha's so slow, nasty hoe. Now you want to defend Melanie? I don't even think it was still defending. I think on the outside end, like Melanie or not, you should understand that whatever he's got going on over there is too much. He won't leave her alone. It's harassment in a scary way. All that pulling up and so Kimmy is over here caping for Maurice. Big surprise there. Didn't see that coming. Maurice was at Black and he got drunk. And, okay, I won't say got drunk because Maurice be stealing people and things. Maurice was at Black having drinks. They were having some type of party celebration or whatever, cocktails. And he left there traveling. We don't know where he was traveling to because the pit stops in the story have been added in after the fact. So while he was traveling in a direction, he ran into a pole. I didn't even know that part. So he was driving and ran into a pole, and a police officer pulled up and suspected something and arrested him. I don't know what he suspected. I'm going to say he suspected probably that he was under the influence of alcohol. That's why it says DUI on his arrest information. I didn't look at it, but for sure, I bet DUI is on there. Kimmy said all these people were over here gathering information, but not caring if he was okay. And I'm like, we knew he was okay because we seen his buckshot with pink lipstick, allegedly. Maybe not. We don't know. But we don't know if it was your shade of pink. Could have been. We don't know. Because y'all was making pit stops after the party. What time did you leave the party? And y'all went to, she said they stopped. She stopped. And she had to get something from the office. And then she went home. And I guess they were in separate cars. And on his way home, I'm guessing this is when the pole got hit and the police were involved. This is their cockamamie story. She didn't say that when she was telling the story during the episode. During the episode, she said based on her timeline, she figured he would be tired. That's what she said. And she said she thought he might have fell asleep at work. So I'm guessing whenever they were drinking, I don't know what time they left there. They said everybody was there. So I don't know what time they left there, but from there they went to, the office. And then between 4 a.m. and 12 o'clock, 12 noon, that's when he, was arrested. at 4 a.m., I guess he was arrested and he was booked at 12 o'clock. I don't know how that works. I don't know when they allow you to have a phone call. I feel like you get to call somebody and say, hey, I'm in jail. Maybe that didn't happen over there with Maurice, but I'm just saying, this is their cockamamie story. And I don't know why Kimmy like is now trying to revise it. So you went home and went to bed and he didn't. You didn't and what? And you decided the next day to go over to the office because you thought he fell asleep. Well, you just left him. Why didn't you go over to the office when he didn't come? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we're leaving the office and going back home, according to Maurice, he was traveling home. And you'd be like, we was just there. And you're calling him and he's not answering? That's concerning. Let me go back over office. No, she waited until the next day to go to office. I feel like it's because she's used to him not coming home. And so does everybody else. I think what Kimmy is not thinking about is just like Mel has all these fans that identify with her because of the stuff that Martell did. It's a lot of people that identify with what you're going through. And they recognize that when you're not in a full-blown panic, she didn't say, I called the hospital, I called Marcel, I called you, didn't, all these people that you just left, you didn't say, hey, have you seen Maurice? I just left him. Nope, she went to the office. She said she thought about hospital, but she didn't say she called the hospital because she knew sounds stupid. She knew, should have known better than him saying he was, what kind of work you got to do after you leave Black? Stop it. To get some papers. You couldn't get them in the morning? I'm just not believing it. It don't matter because she gonna stand beside him. She's not even just gonna stand beside him. She's gonna come over here and be his representative because that's what she does. And he sits there with that smug look on his lobster big watermelon head. Kimmy always gets so mad at everyone for when she has to come over and speak on behalf of Maurice, she gets mad at everyone, outside of the situation. Carlos kept questioning them basically. And when he asked Kimmy, what did he say? He said, so when you were at home in your warm bed, where was Maurice on his way to? I forget what the question was exactly, but she started getting nervous. She stopped having answers for the questions. And so Maurice said he is not inclined to talk about it because the case is still open and he would not be able to answer any further questions. It's fine. Y'all answered it plenty. Because at the end of the day, Maurice is a lawyer. This is how I look at it. At the end of the day, Maurice is a lawyer and he was driving under the influence. Not that he got pulled over for driving, suspiciously, but he ran into a whole pole. Melanie disparaging his character. He keeps on saying that she did not disparage your character. You did that all by yourself. And we can go on and on from Monster to Kyra we can keep talking about your character. It has nothing to do with Melody. You had a whole mugshot and a DUI arrest. That said it all about your character. Melanie was being messy and we don't care. That's, all y'all be messy. Kimmy was really upset with Melanie because of this whole red lipstick thing. And she doesn't appreciate how Melanie went around telling everybody else about it before she spoke to me. That's her whole issue. She says Melanie thinks everybody is a cheater. She is so exhausted from Melanie, like accusing everybody's husband of being a cheater. And I was like, she accused these two because they were with her husband along with Chris Fletcher, and they were all doing suspicious things down in Credit One. Everybody knows it. I feel like everybody knows it. I feel like everybody in Huntsville has talked about it. That's why Kimmy is so worked up about it. Huntsville is a small town. It's not like, you the one took your happy ass over to the office. Even Carlos says she went to Credit One. I don't go to Credit One. You know what it is. girl. You know what your man be doing. Marcel probably doesn't do it anymore. Marcel's not gonna let you catch him after the big back picture. He is done being caught out there. Melanie said she was just bringing up things that were in the blogs, and I wish she wouldn't have said that, honestly. I wish she wouldn't have said that because it sounds silly. You're bringing up, I'm just bringing up things that were big in the blogs. I don't know that they were talking about lipstick. I didn't hear that. I did hear, I mean, once y'all get arrested, because everybody got a mugshot. Do Chris and Dale have mugshots? Kimmy don't. They said Marceau and Tisha got them. Didn't know it. Destiny and Martell are collecting them. So Kimmy don't. Miss Nell and Chris Fletcher don't, and Melanie don't. That that I know about. Kimmy been holding this one in. She was like, they was out there in the blogs talking about whatever bad butt job you got, but I wasn't trying to discuss that. And I was like, did she get a butt job? I didn't recognize that she got a butt job. Maybe she did, but I don't remember anybody in the blog saying that. She's always had a tight little, you know what I'm saying? When she just a little tiny package. I didn't see no butt job, but it could be. She just didn't get no ridiculous one if she did. I think that's pretty funny coming from Kimmy, who dresses like a, high school Pop-Tart in order to entertain this nigga Maurice. But you want to talk about somebody's bad, but you're bad, get you the bad ass. I was like, oh, wow. She's really upset with the men. Kimmy was saying that everybody, talks shit or amongst each other. They be having shade amongst each other. But when they do it, Melanie gets upset, and then they have to have a whole HR meeting where they have to apologize and take back all the things that she said. And she said, when we get together, then you want to be on some like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. And so for some reason, Kimmy has a lot of heat for Mel. I don't know why that is. But she was just real angry, uncomfortably angry. And I'm like, you should be mad at Maurice, girl. Your anger is misdirected. He's sitting over here gloating, and you sitting over here looking a fool because once again, you're sent out to try to clean up whatever mess that Maurice makes. That was pretty much part one. Part two, Nell is upset because Mel said she wasn't a mentor. That's annoying. Ken and Trisha and their drama, and Sunny and Destiny and their drama. They're gonna go ahead and stretch this out into 2 more parts. So I don't know what they're gonna cover, completely next week, but I'll be here to talk about it with you. Y'all like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye, y'all.